Chapter 16. The months passed slowly but steadily, until finally the time arrived. Serena went into labor on a quiet autumn evening, and Naomi traveled to be with her as she had promised. It was a long and difficult labor, but Serena endured it with the same quiet resilience that had carried her through everything else. When the first cries filled the room, and she held her son in her arms for the first time, all the fear, the worry, and the hardship seemed to melt away. He was beautiful, small, but strong, with a head of fine dark hair and eyes that, even at birth, seemed bright and alert. And as she looked into those eyes, Serena could see it immediately, the same shape, the same color as Damien's. It was a striking resemblance, though she told herself that with time, his own features would emerge more clearly. She named him Leo Quinn, a name that was entirely his own, carrying only the legacy she chose to give him. In those first days, as she held him close, feeding him, soothing him, watching him sleep, Serena felt a love so deep and powerful it surprised even her. This was the greatest thing she had ever done, the greatest responsibility she would ever have. Naomi, holding the baby gently, looked down at his face and then up at Serena, her expression thoughtful but kind. "He is beautiful, Serena. And strong, like his mother." Serena smiled, brushing a finger gently against Leo's cheek. "Yes. He will be strong. He will know he is loved." There was a moment of silence, then Naomi spoke softly. "You are certain you still do not want to tell Damien?" Serena's expression hardened slightly, but there was no anger in it, only determination. "I am certain. Damien chose his path. He chose to believe lies, to let me walk away without question. He does not know me, and he does not know what kind of life he could offer. Leo will grow up knowing honesty and kindness, not suspicion and coldness. He is my son, and I will raise him well." Chapter 17. The early months with Leo were filled with exhaustion, but also with immense joy. Serena learned quickly how to care for him, how to soothe his cries, how to read his needs, how to balance her own rest with his constant demands. She discovered a strength within herself she had not fully known existed. Where before she had sometimes felt uncertain or overshadowed, now she felt capable and sure. This small child depended entirely on her, and she was determined never to let him down. As Leo grew, his personality began to emerge. He was a curious, observant little boy, always watching everything around him with those bright, dark eyes. He was affectionate, easily soothed by his mother's voice and touch, and seemed to have inherited her intelligence and quickness of mind. Serena continued her studies whenever she could find time, reading business books, following market news, keeping her mind sharp so she would be ready to return to work as soon as possible. She knew that providing a stable future meant building a career, not just surviving day by day. There were moments when the financial strain felt heavy. Money was tight, every dollar was carefully counted and spent only on necessities. But Serena was resourceful. She learned to budget carefully, to make do with what she had, and to find joy in simple things. Leo did not need expensive toys or designer clothes. He needed love, attention, and a safe place to grow, things Serena was more than happy to provide. She would often take him for walks in the park, watching him discover the world around him, his face lighting up at every new sight and sound. She would tell him stories, sing to him, and speak to him often, even though he was too young to understand all her words, wanting him to grow up hearing a voice that was warm and encouraging. Sometimes, when she looked at him, she would catch a glimpse of Damien, in the shape of his jaw, the way he furrowed his brow when concentrating, and a faint sadness would touch her heart. But it was quickly replaced by love. Leo was his own person, not just a reflection of his father. He was hers, and that was all that mattered. Chapter 18. When Leo was just over a year old, Serena received a call from Mr. Hale, the man who had interviewed her months before. The company was expanding, and they were ready for her to begin, part-time at first, allowing her to balance work and motherhood, before moving to full-time as she was able. Serena was nervous but excited. She found a reliable daycare nearby, a warm, loving place run by a kind woman, and began her work. It was not glamorous, but it was exactly the start she needed. She began analyzing market data, preparing reports, offering insights that soon began to impress her employers. Her sharp mind, combined with the understanding of corporate structure she had gained during her years married to Damien, allowed her to see opportunities and risks that others often overlooked. She was thorough, honest, and always looking for ways to improve efficiency and profitability. Word began to spread of her work ethic and her ability. Other small businesses in the area began seeking her advice on financial planning and market positioning. Before long, Serena found herself taking on consulting work on the side, using the money to improve their living situation and put a little aside for Leo's future. One day, while working on a report, she was approached by Julian Cross, the very man whose name had been used against her years before. He was in Harlow meeting with a client, and he had heard about her work. "Miss Quinn," he said, extending his hand politely when introduced. "I must say, I have heard very good things about your analytical skills. It is rare to find someone who understands both the numbers and the human side of business." Serena was cautious at first, remembering how his name had been twisted into lies. But Julian was professional and respectful, and over time, as they occasionally crossed paths professionally, she realized he was exactly what he appeared to be, a brilliant strategist with no ill intentions toward her. Chapter 19. As the months turned into years, Serena's reputation grew. She worked tirelessly, balancing her career with raising Leo, never allowing herself to cut corners or compromise her values. She built her reputation on honesty, transparency, and results, qualities that were rare in the business world, and quickly gained her respect. When Leo was 3 years old, Serena was promoted to a senior position within the consulting firm. It came with better pay and more responsibility, but also the respect of her colleagues and clients. She was no longer simply the young mother trying to make it. She was becoming known as someone who knew her field and could be trusted. But Serena began to dream bigger. She realized that while she enjoyed her work, she wanted to build something entirely her own, something that reflected her values completely. She began to save every extra dollar, making plans, studying the market, identifying gaps where a firm built on integrity and forward thinking could succeed. Julian Cross, who had come to respect her greatly, noticed her ambition. One evening, over coffee after a meeting, he spoke openly. "You have the mind and the drive to run your own firm," he told her. "But starting from scratch is difficult. It requires capital, connections, and support. If you ever decide to take that step, I would be interested in being involved, as a partner, not as a boss. I believe we could build something exceptional together." Serena was surprised but thoughtful. She knew Julian was skilled and ethical. With his experience and her vision, they could create something truly special. But she also hesitated, knowing that partnering with him could eventually bring her name back into the circles where Damien moved. For the moment, she said she would think about it. But the seed had been planted. Chapter 20. Over the next 2 years, Serena's dream continued to grow. Leo was now 5 years old, bright, curious, full of energy, and the center of her world. He was doing well in preschool, happy and confident, never lacking for love or attention. Serena continued saving, planning, and refining her vision. She wanted a company that offered ethical financial consulting and investment strategies, something that helped businesses grow responsibly while maintaining honesty and fairness. It was a concept that resonated strongly with her after everything she had witnessed in the Ashcroft world. Finally, after careful preparation and with enough savings to support herself and Leo for a reasonable period while the business became established, she made her decision. She resigned from her position and formally accepted Julian Cross's offer of partnership. Together, they founded Quinn & Cross Consulting. It was a risky step. Starting a new business was difficult, and the competition was fierce, including the massive shadow of Ashcroft Group, which dominated much of the market. But Serena was determined. She had built a life from nothing once before, she knew she could do it again. Their firm started small, operating from a modest office in Harlow. But their reputation for honesty and results quickly spread. They took on clients that other firms ignored, offered fair pricing, and built long-term relationships based on trust. Slowly but steadily, they began to grow. As Quinn & Cross Consulting expanded, however, it became clear that to truly reach their full potential, they would eventually need to move their operations to the city, the very same city where Damien Ashcroft lived and worked, where the business world revolved around his empire. Serena knew this moment would come eventually. For 5 years, she had built a life far from his influence. But now, as her own success grew, the past could no longer be hidden forever.